The original goal is just to give athletes a blueprint to build upon. So there was like a 12, 13-page ebook, but the image I made when I released this thing was a book. The demographic of people that I'm trying to sell this to is high school kids. The last thing they want on this earth is a book. The impetus of it was my wife losing her job. I look at every instance of my life of like great things that happened or things that I'm proud that I did it. And it all started with a moment like that. You lost something, you hurt something, an idea didn't work. You're forced to recalibrate and then move forward.
2025, we are here, back at the Good Drill Pod. We have Ross. We have Bobby. Bobby loves this, man. Bobby loves this.
My favorite part.
Yo, you want to hear something crazy?
What's crazy, Combo?
Ran out of gas on my way back from here. Last pod. And you know what I did? It was actually a hill down towards the gas station. All I was saying, good drill. I got lucky, man. Good drill. Good drill. Ended up behind the gas station. I had to climb a ladder, go get some gas.
What climb ladder?
Bro, because on the GPS, it said the gas station was here, right? But it wasn't actually the gas. It was behind the gas station, behind some house. Yeah. So there was a ladder. I had to go down the ladder, get one of those red things, bring the gas back up, and fill it in.
One of those red things, a gas can.
Gas can.
So, sounds like an Animal Crossing or something. Sounds like a video game.
What I hear is you're lucky that you had momentum to your advantage. Because if you were at the bottom of the hill, it would have been way harder to get that gas. But since you were at the top of the hill, you had access to free momentum, and it saved your life.
I actually got really lucky.
So lucky.
Really lucky, man. Can't believe I ran out of gas.
How did you run out of gas? I play a little bit like... I play to the edge always with it of like, oh, I don't need gas yet. I have 10 miles left. I'm good. You
ever get really busy? Like you have to go here, there, and then you just forget about it. And those New Jersey roads, once I realized it, it's like you don't have an exit on some of those roads. New Jersey roads are crazy. I know you guys are.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's horrible.
I remember even my dad when I was a kid, like we used to drive through, used to have like the old paper where like, you know, he had a map, bro, when I was a kid. I mean, I'm kind of dating myself here, but like he would always get lost. He would, New Jersey roads are the worst.
Yeah. New Jersey drivers are good, though, because we know how to navigate those roads, and we can drive anywhere else. We can drive.
You heard about congestion pricing in the city?
It costs a lot of money to drive through the city now, right?
Like $9.
Yeah, we got paid.
Wait, why?
$9 just to go past 59th Street?
Wait, why? How do they get your money?
Because they said there's too much congestion. So they just...
How do they get your money?
Easy Pass.
There's Easy Pass in the city?
Easy Pass in the city.
I've never seen an Easy Pass.
Just started Sunday.
Really? Where have I been?
In New Jersey.
I've been in New Jersey. Yeah, I've been in New Jersey.
Yeah. So if you go to a Knicks game,
I was just in the city though.
Yeah, not only your George Washington Bridge price, but you'll get $9 to go downtown.
They're gonna make bank.
Yeah, what is the bridge now? $20?
Or people will just stay home.
Will people stay home?
A lot of people work virtually now.
Yeah.
It's going to be crickets in the streets.
That'd be good.
That'd be good.
I'll
good
pay $9 to go in there without traffic. Well worth it for me. I go to the city once a year. Not even. I don't think 2024 didn't go to the city one time.
Really?
Yeah, what are I doing there? See you? Come on.
We might have to do a New York City pod one day.
I love the city.
We took Charles to the, we saw.
Yeah.
We went in the city one time.
Year,
yeah, I played ping pong right in Battery Park with some Asian guys. It was awesome.
Wemby was just there playing chess. No, not Battery Park. He was somewhere else.
He was at Bryant Park, right?
Yeah.
There was just a fire there.
Really?
Yeah, a little fire. Somebody lit something on fire.
No, that was in the train, bro.
Also Bryant Park. Everything's cool there, though. I was just there.
Yeah. Oh, you checked it out for them? After man was lit on fire, Ross goes and checks it out. Yeah. Everything's good there now.
All right, we're good, guys. Roll them in.
Oh, man. How was your guys' New Year?
I don't even know what I did. I was in bed by 9:15, New Year's Eve. Oh, I haven't seen midnight on New Year's in probably 8 years. And the only time, because 8 years ago, I was at a wedding that was New Year's Eve, and that was the only reason I was up. I feel like New Year's used to be a way bigger deal. I don't know if it's like an age thing. I got older.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But like, I don't care at all. It's just another day. Like, I wouldn't have even known it's New Year's Eve. I wouldn't have even known it's New Year's Day. Like, I know holidays like Christmas because it's Christmas. We got a tree and presents and stuff. But like New Year's Day,
you're in a different bubble. You're in a different demographic now.
I wake up and do the same thing every day. That's it. Like it does. Nothing changes with days. Like I don't know what day's Friday, what day's Sunday.
Crypto, good drill, crypto, workout, crypto,
Hunt.
NFTs,
Hunt,
be friends.
snowboard,
content.
With
Ross.
Content is wake up till I go to bed. Nothing but content.
What'd you learn about content this year, guys?
Wait, I want to talk about my New Year's. My New Year. So I've never stayed up for New Year's. I always fall asleep before. I fell.
You never
asleep.
went out to party in your younger days?
No, never.
You weren't a party guy in college?
No.
You never went out?
1 year I had like a stretch my sophomore year where I went out.
You were like
every
Frank
weekend.
the Tank,
No,
the young version.
no. But I socialized. But my
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Dude, he's a beast. We saw that guy in person when we were in
Will?
Frank the Tank.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah, Will.
No, that's
Old
not.
School, the movie.
But that's not Frank the Tank. But that's not the Frank the Tank from Barstool. That's not Frank the Tank. Barstool.
That is the Frank the Tank.
It's not. It's not.
I'm gonna do one. He's gonna do one.
No, that's the OG where it came from. But Frank the Tank is the Barstool guy.
Tell me about this guy. I never
You
heard
know
of him.
who Frank the Tank from Barstool? He's like the big guy that goes to all like the what's that? What's the baseball team in Florida? The Marlins.
There's a couple, I think. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. He goes to one of those. Whatever. He does like reporting. But my New Year's, I'm asleep by 9:30. Right. I'm asleep. I'm in bed. 12:30 hits. Right. Ryan's watching the ball drop. I'm sleeping. 12:30 hits. Boo! Our whole building shakes. There's a lightning storm going on. Right. The whole building shakes.
This year?
Yeah. I wake up and literally the whole building shakes. I'm like, Ryan, I think we just got struck by lightning. And it took me like 2 seconds. I'm like, all right, we got to go, get out, make sure we're not on fire.
I was in the city. I don't remember any rain.
I was in Jersey.
It's not that far, though.
So it was an explosion. It felt like we got struck by lightning. I was like, we got to make sure we're not on fire. We got to get Tucker, Tucker out of the house, my golden retriever, Tucker. Go out of the house. Go outside. We're not on fire. Across the street, we have a bunch of stores. There's a huge raging fire across the street. Raging fire across the street. 12:30, 12:35
Way
at
to
this
start
point.
off your year.
But then when I got outside, it was still lightning outside, and we were looking, and then it came to my head. It's like, all right, we probably shouldn't be outside because then we might get struck by lightning.
But what are the chances of getting struck by lightning twice?
With a lot of lightning, this craziness
If you're
happening.
Ross,
So we
they're
went
very
outside.
high.
So what happened? So it was across the street. A transformer blew up, and that's what caused everything. And that's pretty much the story.
So was it lightning or was it
Was it lightning?
transformer?
The lightning hit a transformer and blew it up.
Yeah, and you lived to talk about it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
New Year, I'm pretty proud of myself, and I want to pat myself on the back because I was trying to put 3 inches on my vert in 3 weeks. So I started the first week of December, and I had till January 1st. I tested.
I'm not going to
everything.
lie. It seems incredibly easy.
What?
3 inches in 3 weeks?
To put on your vert?
I think that's incredibly
Imagine
easy.
you did that though. At
I can
3
do that
that's an
easily.
inch per week. Imagine you did that for a year. You'd have a 52-inch vert at
Yeah,
least.
but there's diminishing
That's what I'm
returns
saying.
eventually.
I'm not
Yeah.
like some newbie, you know. I've been around the block a couple times.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I spent a month in Idaho. I was doing hypertrophy clusters before that. I put on a bunch of weight. I weighed myself, dude. I was 249.7, heaviest I've ever been in my life. Right?
You were 250?
Yeah, 250.
249.7.
249.7 to be exact.
Bro,
When I started this
that's
thing,
fucking heavy.
I just wanted to do something. So we have our Discord community. We have
Yo,
all
you
the
like
kids that we train.
LeBron, bro.
I was bigger than LeBron.
6'8", 250.
That's what I'm saying.
If you see Bron, you put him in the post.
I body that guy. But
Good
anyway, so I did it and I stuck to it and I cut out sugar. So I didn't make any diet modifications, whatever. I just stopped eating
So
ice
you're the
cream.
D3 diet guy now.
Yes. I was the D3 diet guy. I cared about all that stuff and played Division III basketball. Probably because I cared about all that stuff. But anyway, I got down to 241. So I lost 8 pounds. I wanted to get 235. I just set a crazy goal so I could go after it. I didn't go hard enough with the diet. I could have got to 235 if I fasted and just ate less. But I was still eating like, this was like through Christmas Eve, Christmas, holiday parties, all that stuff. I lost 8 pounds and I got up to 30. I put 2.5 inches on my vert. So I went from 30 to 32.5 and I went from 249.7 pounds down to 241 pounds. And what I felt good, I didn't get it, but I felt good that I was 3 weeks ahead of everybody that waits till New Year's to start the resolutions. And now I'm back to not eating sugar, and I want to get a 36-inch vert at 36 years old. I turned 37.
So wait a second though. If your vert was 30, even at 6'8", 250, you were still dunking off the vert easily, right?
It was
Even
approach vert.
No, but I'm asking you, you could dunk off the vert no step even when you were 250 with 30 inches, right?
Yeah, if I was feeling good. My body's been hurting a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing enough. I just wanted to get more athletic. And that's like, I don't really care as much about the vert, but at least it gives me something to aim for to structure my training around. So I go to the gym, I work out, I did the hypertrophy clusters, put on all this size, but it's like, why am I doing this? And I just want to do something for the sake of doing it because it's hard, right? So cutting out sugar, cutting out the first week, excruciating. Emily's got cookies. We got all Remy's treats, my daughter's treats, all that kind of stuff. But after you get past that first week, I don't even think about it anymore.
Okay.
And then New Year's Eve, I had some sugar, and that was it. I did. I broke New Year's Eve. I said, because my wife's sister got me a whole bunch of treats, and they were just sitting there looking at me, and I said, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it tonight, and then I'll start over on the 1st. But now I want to get a 36-inch vert before I turn 37. So I turned 37 April 3rd, and I want to get from 32 and a half to 36, and I haven't done anything towards that.
How about 40 at 40?
That'll be tough.
40 at 40.
I think I can do 36 at 36.
Are you guys big New Year's resolution guys?
No. But there's nothing wrong with it. You could do a New Year's resolution, and it's cool. I just don't. I've never actually done one before. What about you?
Yeah, I did one not too long ago, and it seems so small in hindsight, but it was big back then.
They say
I just wanted to do one in-studio pod a week. That was a little bit after the pandemic when nobody was going in studio, so it was kind of like big then. But think about even for this show, and I'm doing a lot of different shows. I'm probably doing like 6, 7 shows. We do 4 a month here.
Yeah.
4. Think about the difference of that. I just wanted to do one.
But was it a good step?
It was a great step.
So then it was good.
Yeah, it was a great step. It was a
good
great
resolution.
Step. It could have led to this in some way. I don't know. It led to a lot of things. So yeah, it was a good resolution. But this year, I'm not going to say out loud what mine is. But
dude,
because
what is it?
No.
What do you mean? Make it real.
I can't, man. You know why you get a dopamine hit like you did it if you say you're going to do it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Andrew Huberman. He talks about that. Like if you constantly say what you're going to do, it releases dopamine like you've done it. Which it won't for me because I'm a motivated guy. It could make you lose motivation a little bit.
I think there's huge benefit to having hard goals. And I think
No. The goal is hard and it's good. It's just saying it out loud.
Well, how hard is it, Combo?
Pause. It's hard and it's good, but you saying it out loud could lead to a dopamine hit like you did it.
What's wrong with that?
It's like you've already done it. So the motivation.
We're all here. We know you haven't done it.
No, there's science behind this.
Science? Love science.
But, there is also a thing called speaking things into existence. So
I don't believe in that either.
So both ways is wrong, no matter what happens.
I don't think it matters.
Do you guys have a New Year's resolution? I'm deflecting now.
No, I don't. I don't have a New Year's resolution. What's mine?
For Good Drills, the community.
That's not a New Year's resolution.
Did it happen around New Year's?
We have goals.
I have goals.
What's the goals? Talk to me.
All right, I want to get 10,000 Good Drill members to put their journey into the Discord community every single day for at least 365 straight days. You can miss a couple days here and there. That's a goal. That's not a resolution.
But that's an interesting goal because you're relying on others to reach your goal.
Aren't we always? There's always an implement. Make a shot, the ball's got to go in.
Some things are totally within our control.
No, like what?
What?
Nothing's totally within your control because you can't predict the future of what's going to happen.
Well, like my goal is just me, right? Trying to get a 36-inch vert before I turn 37.
On being the best you could be.
You don't know. You don't know. God forbid you get COVID. You whatever. There's a lot of factors that you can't. Based on what has previously happened in your life, you cannot prove that you can absolutely 100% predict and control.
No, but it's like mine is a personal goal. Your personal goal has to deal with motivating others, right, in our community. It's an awesome goal. It's just different.
Well, it's not the goal of you wanting to do it that's going to get you a 36-inch vert. There's adaptation that has to happen to your muscle, and you don't control every adaptation that happens in your body, and those things need to happen. There's always something you're not controlling.
Why do you want that? Why do you want 10,000 people in the Discord?
There's a few reasons. One reason, the main reason, is it's a good metric of how big we are as a brand and how big of a system that we've built. And I think it's a good metric for that because it's something tangible where you're getting the people, you're essentially proving that people are using your thing, right? And I think that one of the biggest problems with when people buy something online is that they don't use it. And I think it's not 100% infallible, but it's at least a good signal to say, look, I got this really big number of people that post their journey here every single day. The second reason why I personally think it's important is because I want to feel good about the value that I provide. And I think something that's extremely valuable for people is to, back to goals, clearly write down what your goals are, write down what the obstacles are, and write down some of the paths you're going to take to get there. And I think the importance of writing it down is because
100%.
it forces a clarity of thought, especially when you're younger and you don't write with a purpose like that. It's a good thing to at least try out and do. And then putting it in the community is a one step further benefit because it gives you accountability. It allows other people that are on a similar journey, a similar path, to go look at what you're doing and give you feedback on what you're doing. I always want feedback. If I make a piece of content and I talk to you like, oh, look, like, what do you think about this? Once I'm done with it, once I have a clear thought, a clear, like, I made it, whatever, now I want to go show somebody else and I want to get feedback. Do I consider it? That's a whole nother thing, but I want to at least get the feedback. So those two big reasons. Definitely a selfish reason of it's a good metric to show, look how big we've done. And it's also a good signal for us that we're moving in the right direction with the amount of value that we want to provide to people and the amount of the bigness of our brand and our community and our training
and
system.
helping people stick to their goals and plans.
Yeah. And we're providing value and it feels like we're moving in the right direction. It's something I feel good about when somebody.
You can't just do it for a month or two if you want to be great, right?
Yeah, no, I'm on what day? Yeah. I'm on day 48 is today.
48, I'm on 46. He's 2 days ahead of me, but I'm catching up.
I don't know how that happened, but we have somebody.
I totally believe in the write it down, make it happen thing.
Yeah,
by the way. I've been doing that for years. Write 8 things down a day, make them all happen.
And it might not be for everybody because everybody's going to respond a little bit different. But the risk of at least trying to write down your goals, especially when you're a young kid that probably has never been exposed to somebody telling them to, like, that they respect, to write down. Maybe an English teacher told you to write, but I don't care what my English teacher taught. Like, of course she's going to tell me to write, you know?
How do you guys balance writing down the short-term goals if you write down goals at all? I don't know what your day-to-day is like. And then writing down the long-term goals, because I think I'm a lot better at writing down my day-to-day than what I see like 5 years down the line.
I don't want to speak for Ross, but I don't really need to write down my day-to-day. I've got I've got more than I can do on a day-to-day basis, and it's like I have routine, right? Routine with content, routine with working out, routine with coming here doing this podcast.
But the bandwidth of holding what you have to do on the day-to-day, it doesn't hurt what you actually have to do. So I get to
a point where I max out, right? I max out and I can't juggle everything in my mind anymore, and then I'll do a brain dump. Brain dump, I sit down for a half hour, pen and paper, no distractions, nothing. And I just write, no rhyme or reason. I just get everything that's on my mind, right? Things I need to do, things I want to do, things I'm thinking about. I just let my brain go I get everything down on paper for a half hour. Then I'll go back and I'll look at it and I'll prioritize it and make a list out of it. And it's usually dumb things like I need a haircut, right? I need to go get an oil change. But over time, by not having the list you're talking about, it does build up, and there's like so many little things, and they're little things, but when there's 100 little things, it's not little anymore. Now I can't even think or function because I have so many little things that I'm not getting done. So it's like when I start to, it's a feeling. When I start to get a little overwhelmed with stuff I haven't done, I'll do that. I'll prioritize everything. And then like, it feels so good to go get your car washed, to get your oil change, to get a haircut, to do whatever the things that I've been putting off. And I get all that done, and it kind of resets me. But typically, like, my day is very, very structured, very routine based, because I just have to get things done for, like, the main thing that we're working right now is our online business. And it's like, I wake up and I'm thinking about it, and I think about it till I go to bed. And it's like handling all that. Now we go, and then we get to a point where we can't control everything that we have going on in the business. And it's like, all right, how do we get control back? How do we systematize things? How do we create,
Systematize, is that a word?
Yeah, I just made it up. Good word.
Don't you find that you get some of your greatest ideas when you're like doing something else, like subconsciously?
I went hunting yesterday.
Yeah.
So I go hunting all the time. But for me to go hunting, I live in North Jersey. I can't hunt anything that I want to hunt.
I saw you did your whole life story.
That was quick, in under a minute.
That was crazy.
That's like not even close to my life story. But anyway, I drive 3 hours in a car all the way up. It's 3 hours. I wake up stupid early, drive 3 hours in the car. I'm listening to podcasts, making phone calls, listening to things, sometimes nothing. And my brain's just going, but it's me by myself in my truck. Then I get to the woods. I hunt for 6 hours. I did, 18,000 steps yesterday by myself. It was 15 degrees with 38 mile an hour.
You went hunting by yourself? Nobody
all
else?
the time. This is what I do. But like talking about this now, making a list, everything that you're talking about, that's what happens on this trip. I have 3 hours to think, ruminate, go over things on my mind. What's important? What have I been thinking about that's not important? What do I need to think about more? What am I missing? Then I'll listen to NBA podcasts. I'll listen to hunting podcasts.
Combo's Court.
Listen to Combo's Court, right? I'll call people. Then I'm in the woods for 6 hours. And that's something, what I'm hunting is this grouse. And it's a very elusive species of birds that's near impossible to get. But it takes 100% focus and present. Right. And I'm watching the dog. I'm looking at the habitat. I'm looking for all the stuff that I'm looking for. But it's something that forces me into the present moment. Get all that. My dog got porcupined yesterday, quilled. She got 15 quills in her face. She's not good. But anyway, I digress.
Oh, you brought your dog.
My dog, that's my...
You said you were by yourself.
I hunt with the dog. I bird hunt with the dog.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I drive 3 hours home. And it kind of resets everything. It brings me back to being calm.
It's almost like when you go to sleep, you wake up with a great idea on something you've been ruminating or thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know why I just went off on that whole hunting thing, but...
Yeah, you were talking about how you get ideas when, you're subconscious.
I have, like, a lot of... I think it's normal for people, they have their best ideas after a workout, in the shower, in these times where you're on a walk.
Or even on a walk. Yeah, walk,
right?
It always happens.
And
you should bring a notepad with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Ross are like each other's notepad, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That happens.
Yeah.
You're offloading information on the other person and they hold it. That's why divorces are so hard, because you've offloaded a lot of information in your spouse.
Yeah.
It's not only like the romantic side. It's like she's been like holding this information for me. So you guys are like basically married.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if having a notebook and writing more every day, every time I have a journal, and every time I go in there, it's always, I should be writing more. Like, that's always the first thing I put in my journal, because it's like a month and a half went by. And I've been through periods of my life where I journal every single day and I'm religious with it. But now it's more like I write when I need to write and when I need to get stuff down on paper. But I wonder if I made it a daily habit of doing it. But how many things can I do in 2025? Right? I'm trying to jump 36 inches before I turn 37. I'm trying to get 10,000 people in our Discord checking in daily. I wanted to circle back to that, because I love the simplicity of it.
Can you explain what a Discord is?
It's like a Facebook community. It's a community, so we have different channels. We have training channels, basketball channel, but it's a place where everybody that gets a subscription to our app and all the training stuff, it's a community where people can talk, get feedback. We have, 5 coaches
it's like
in
a
there.
big chat?
Yeah, it's like a big chat room.
And they can interact with each other as well.
Each other, me and Ross, ask us questions. So
post videos,
get feedback. So it's something we offer with our app. It's like, but we want to get more people active with it. And we're not asking them to do anything crazy. Literally just check in. What'd you do today? And just start small, like the smallest step forward in the direction of just getting ingrained with this community, because we have thousands of hoopers in there. And if we can just get more people checking in, day one, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I did today. This is where I'm whatever you want to get. It's like the simplest step forward to where they want to go is just getting them in that habit of checking in, creating accountability, right? And then if they can do that and buy in, 80% of people that buy online programs never do the online program. So that's like a clear metric on if we could just get 10,000 people checking in every day, I have a high faith that they will get into the work. And getting on the court.
And there's more, and now it's like a lot of people.
Yeah,
you can't even go through a day. Yeah, it's a lot of people that are checking in. And you really think about it, it seems like, they could just go check in anywhere. They could check in with themselves. At this point, the community has become like a thing. Like it's a thing. Like you go, like it's not just by yourself. There's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of things going on. So it's like, where else are you getting that as a player where you have, if it is something that will help you or such, it's at least something that's little to no risk in terms of your time, and it could have a huge benefit to what you're doing. So where else are you doing that? Like it's a place, like the Good Drill Discord. It's a place. The Good Drill brand is a brand, and you have all these people in there. Where else can you do that? Giving them that is massive. I do, back to the list. It's not, I don't write like my long-term goals. Like ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me neither.
Yeah.
I do my daily goals every day.
I definitely, when I was a kid growing up, my mom would always make comments on this, but even like as a young kid, I would like I went through phases where I would write before I go to sleep, like what I'm gonna do when I wake up, like shower, brush my teeth, like in the orders that it needs to be done. Like I would always write like my to-do list. And I think a lot of people, there is an argument that people write down to-do lists and they feel good about writing down the to-do list and don't do anything. But
to my point earlier,
I think everything could be good and bad. Like saying something out loud could be good and it could be bad. So writing something down could be good, it could be bad. It's depending on what you actually do with your action and how it, if it's something that has proven to you or you have a good amount of evidence for it's helping you move in the right direction, then 100% do it. If it doesn't or if it's hurting you, then don't do it.
Yeah,
but for me, when I'm at my best, when I'm at my best with content, I know like I have like a structure of how I go through the content, which one I find first, when do I go look through at the palette of different content that we're looking at, and it's like extremely structured and I constantly revising it and I follow it to a freaking T, but at the same time I have time in that like
Do you have
schedule.
a content calendar?
No, I just use Google Doc and I have like whatever. It's very systematic, but at the same time, part of the system is letting me just be intuitive because that's a huge part of creativity and content, but it's all built in where it's like, I am at my best when I do that without a shadow of a doubt. That's when my best stuff happens. And I've noticed that for the last 2-3 years. I've noticed that like without a shadow of a doubt, that's when I'm at my best. Bobby, just like, all right, just go content. I could do that too, but I would put any amount of money that I am better. Obviously, we don't have charts and data. I'd put any amount of money that I am better when I follow my shit. I make a plan and I'm revising that plan. It's the daily plan, and I just stick to it and revise it. It keeps me locked in.
So there is no 5-year plan.
Well, I think we're both after freedom, right? Like freedom and whatever that means to me and him respectively, but it's absolute freedom. Like I started this because my wife lost her job during COVID, right? And I needed to come up with X amount of dollars to cover it. And I had run the gym for 10 years and never wanted to scale the gym in terms of a business. I got to a point where I could, buy a house, take care of my family, did pretty well, had employees, had a lot of free time, pretty much delegated everything that could be delegated where I just showed up and could be Bobby, yelling at kids. And I never wanted to scale it because the thought of 1,000 people in my gym never excited me. I'd rather have 5 of the right people. And that's who I am. I like deep relationships, really helping people, getting to know people. And it's like, I don't want 1,000 kids in my gym who suck at basketball. I want to focus on kids that love this, that, we get each other, right?
It seems podcasting fits more who you are than short form content.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the guests that we're going to have on. We were talking about that before in the new year, but then I started this thing and I knew what I did in my gym was different than pretty much everyone else out there because we handle the strength development and the skill development of athletes. And like, how do I create this, turn this into an online program? And prior to that, I was doing a little bit on social media, had like 20,000 followers, but never really took it seriously. But I did this thing and I created a PDF file with YouTube links, and it had strength training program, skill training program. And the original idea was I didn't want any communication with these people. It's funny now that our goal is to have 10,000 people in our Discord, when the original goal is just to give athletes a blueprint to build upon, teach them the principles of development, right? Give them simple strength training so high school, college age kids could get stronger, and then give them pretty much what we do in the court. And it just started with that. And I made it as good as possible. And now it's like, how do I sell this thing? And I quickly saw just the upside with anything on the internet, and you have infinite scalability. And it's like, okay, this is the way that I can get that freedom that I'm after. Now, I already had a lot of freedom because if I wanted to leave the gym for a couple of weeks, I could. But now I can literally work from anywhere. And now it's, I want to be able to, on a drop of a dime, whatever it is, I want to be able to go and do exactly what I want to do every single day. Raise the family, go on my hunting trips, go on my snowboarding trips, travel, and just, I want to be able to do whatever I want to do at any given time. And it's like, it feels like it's out there. Like some days it feels like that vision of freedom that I have in my mind is far away, it's out there. But if I really sit on a hunting trip, I'm driving up there, it's like I have that right now. Yesterday was a random Tuesday, and if I want to go on a hunting trip and spend 12 hours and go do it, I can. At the end of the month, I'm going to go to Wyoming on a snowboarding trip. Last month I was in Idaho for a month. It's like, wait, I already freaking have it. I can't stop working today. And that's like, I feel like there's this thing out there that I'm going to get to where I have, the money in the bank account. I have all the things. I have all the systems.
But then you still might not want to stop working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be able to.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll never stop working. I don't stop. My day off yesterday, I wake up at 4 a.m. and hunt for, 15 hours. That's my day off. 20,000 steps in the woods. My dog getting porcupined. right? I'm never gonna stop. What am I gonna do? Sit around and watch Yellowstone? I have been doing that. You ever watch Yellowstone?
No.
I haven't.
Crazy.
Wait, when you did the PDF to start, did you base it off of like some of the strength coaches PDF? Like, did they have those back then? Like, was Will Rotel big back then?
It was really funny because I started it, and the image for my thing, which was a PDF, it was a training app, but the image I used was a book. It was a digital image of a book. So I wrote, it was like a 12-page ebook that kind of went through who I was and my principles and how I approach strength development, how I approach skill development. It was a little background. So there was like a 12, 13-page ebook, and then there was the PDF with YouTube links. But the image I made when I released this thing was a book. And so people thought I wrote a book. And the demographic of people that I'm trying to sell this to is high school kids. The last thing they want on this earth is a book. They didn't even understand it, but I thought it was normal, like to call something an ebook, because you buy these other strength coaches ebooks, and it's a training plan. You go in there and follow the training plan.
And it's really not that long usually, even their ebooks.
Yeah, but it's usually like 10 pages, maybe 20 pages. That's what I mean. But you get the ebook, and then you get the actual training plan to follow. So I just thought it was common knowledge that an ebook meant training plan. Nobody knew that. They thought I wrote a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's like, I started, I just went, and I had the impetus of it was my wife losing her job. And it's like, we look at things like that. That could be a horrible thing. How are we going to this? But I look at every instance of my life of like great things that happened or things that I'm proud that I did it. And it all started with a moment like that. You lost something, you hurt something didn't go right. An idea didn't work. And then you're forced to recalibrate and then move forward.
Ryan Holiday wrote a book, The Obstacle is the Way.
Yes.
The obstacle is the way.
You know what's funny? I'm just starting to put together. Like you started Good Drills, like it was with Charles, March of 2022.
When I started, I didn't even call it the Good Drill system. It was a high power performance system because I didn't think anybody like Good Drills. What does that mean? Such a stupid name. It's such a good name, but it's like the good. Now we sell this
simple
thing.
Is good.
Yeah, but it's called the Good Drill app, and nobody knew what they meant. Like the brand wasn't big. There was no brand. I had just started writing Good Drill underneath posts on social media. That was it. I didn't feel like writing social media captions, so I just wrote Good Drill. It's like
saved you time.
Save me time.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then
it's so crazy. It's like a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
It wasn't though.
But like right now, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's
people know Good Drills. It's
crazy.
Insane.
That's what I'm saying about the community. Like, it's like that's a thing. Like, it's a thing. Like Good Drills, like there's a feeling associated with it, and obviously everybody's feeling is going to be different. My feeling's going to be different. But when I think about Good Drill and I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody else that's not me, it's like, all right, good basketball, good like funny, not too 100% serious, but talking about all the right stuff. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy that
plain.
So a good amount. We have a lot of love, a lot of positive stuff, but obviously you pay attention to the bad stuff. And so many people like attack our drills. And like the whole point is the drills aren't that important. Like I don't care about my drills. I don't care about what we're doing with athletes. The only thing that matters is the athletes reaching their goals. I don't care about how they reach their goals. I don't care about what I'm having my athletes do. I don't look at it through that lens. I look at it, what is going to get the player in front of me to where they want to go, and I will use whatever drills, whatever tools, whatever workout necessary to get them there. And that is all I think about. I don't care about them doing it my way or a certain way. If I learn something new that I think can help my players more, I'm putting it in the app.
Clip that.
Yeah, clip that.
That was good.
No, it's funny because you started it and you went, it was just the product, right? PDF thing. At the same time, I did start a product and I had...
It wasn't Good Drills.
It wasn't Good Drills. It was... But
neither was mine.
I had there was three separate products. Like it's funny that it happens at the same time. And it's funny that I feel like there's whatever, waves or whatever. But I had the Discord. I had the basketball. It was called the Basketball Council. Now that's the name of our Telegram chat of me, you, and Charles. Council. Yeah, the Good Drill Council. It was called the Basketball Council, and it also got like Telegram access with me. So it was like more. I had that like in there. Like Ian was a part of that. Mm-hmm. He was OG in there. There's other people that are OG that are now Good Drill people. And then one of the first not one of the first, but probably one of the first Zooms we had, us three, in September. We're like trying to figure out, it wasn't a membership yet. And it's like membership's like, obviously the idea, you guys probably had the idea, but we brought it up. It's like, oh, we should have the Discord. Like we should have a community. We should put this all together. And it kind of weaved in. I never thought about it. That's my story.
Pretty crazy. Met Ross randomly on TikTok.
And you were living in Long Island or Jersey?
No, I was at Ryan's parents.
In New York.
I was there for like 2.5 years. I just moved out like 4 or 5 months ago.
That's crazy. Collaboration at its finest.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even on Instagram. I had.
Really? Look at you now.
I wasn't on Instagram till.
What are you at, 800K now?
Till January of 2023.
597. I'm at 712.
Look at this.
I'm at 596 because I keep losing followers for some reason.
Nobody likes you.
Yeah. I didn't start till 2023. 2023 of January. I didn't have anything.
When it comes to short form content, I've learned a lot from you, and what I've learned is the hook is really important, and then in retention.
You want to know something crazy, a profound thought that I was talking to Pat this morning about content, and it's like it goes back to like the obvious thing. It's so like it's so obvious, but nobody actually executes on it. It's like when somebody watches one of your videos, like they don't start in the middle of the video. It's like, what's the goal? What's the goal when you make a video and you want it to do well? You want them to do what?
Watch the whole video.
Watch the whole video, or watch as much of the video as possible, right?
Retention time.
Do they start in the middle of the video?
No.
Do they start where you want them to start in the video? No. They start always in the same spot, in the beginning of the video. It is the most important thing because 100% of the people that watch your video will 100% watch at least the first, second, 2 seconds. So it's like for the main focus not to go into the first second, 2 seconds is ridiculous. It should get the most amount of energy and effort of the video if your goal is for the video to do well. Once that box is checked, then you go make it congruent, you make it brief, you make it whatever. But it's like make it so good in the beginning because it's literally most people will only watch the beginning of the video. Like make it the best part. And it sounds crazy. It sounds like a very obvious thing to say, but it's like, dude, most people start there. So start there yourself and then make it congruent after that. Make the freaking title good if you're going to put words on the screen. Make it compelling in some way. Make the words you're saying very clear. Make it so that they understand what the video is going to be about. Make the visual freaking hook them in. Just make it good in every single aspect. The audio, the visual, the words you're saying, everything. Make that first 3 seconds really good. Don't put the freaking captions like underneath the freaking description of the video. Don't put like some weird thing that has no context. Don't start the video with garbage. I know you didn't do that. Mero. Make it really good. Like the Thibodeau, your video with the Thibodeau. It's like if you want to make that really good, like he's walking for the first like 5.5 seconds of the video. I'm done with Thibodeau. Done. Swipe up. Right? The words, like at the bottom, like make it so compelling, like a piece of art, that first 3 seconds of it. Like whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I also learned that if you make good videos, they'll do well because Instagram wants to show good videos. And many people complain about the algorithm, but they're just not making good videos. They'll say bad algorithm, but you should really replace the word algorithm with video.
It's like what you said about like, but that's not something you're in control of. You're in control of other people. There's always an implement. There's always a goal, right? You have a goal. You have the implement that actually achieves the goal. And then you have the mechanism that gets the implement to the goal. That's what it always is, right? When you shoot a basketball, you're trying to put it in the hoop. You don't jump in the hoop. What goes in the hoop? The ball goes in the hoop and you have to get the ball in the hoop, right? How does that happen? When you're trying to get people to watch your content, it's like, all right, your goal is to try to get the piece of content to go viral. Okay, that means that a lot of people have to watch it all the way through. How do they watch it? Why are they going to watch it all the way through? Like they have to go do it. How are you going to make them go do it? Right? What are you going to do to the video to make them go do it?
Yeah.
You know?
And throughout the course of the video, you have to think about, is there a point in this video where somebody would just swipe away from it, right?
Yeah, but the beginning is the most important because it has literally, without a shadow of a doubt, unless 100% of the people watch it 100% of the way through, the beginning of the video will have the most amount of watch.
I mean, is it fair to say the most important things are hook and then retaining attention?
Yeah, but it's like the checklist thing. It's like, just get that first part right, and then you'll see.
Which is the hook.
Yeah, get it really right.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to like just how we approach social media. We saw how important it was, and we saw like we don't just do social media. It's not like we're just randomly doing social media. We're not just posting a lot.
Because we're in the space, though, it seems bigger to us than what it really is, or is it just life at this point for many people?
No, I'm talking about big for what it does for our business. It's business. I'm on there for business. I'm on there to make money. The only reason I'm on social media is to get people on my app, which I'm proud of. And there's nothing wrong with saying I'm trying to make millions and millions of dollars, because I am, because I know on the backside of that, I'm going to do it by having a really good product that's going to get people better. Right. Because if I had millions of followers and I'm filtering them to a system that is broken, that is flawed, that sucks, that nobody likes, it's only a matter of time before you fall flat on your face and you're exposed. So it's like, I'm not somebody that can push people to something that I don't believe in. But now that I've created something, the original PDF with YouTube is something that took me 10 years to create. Certifications, traveling, experiences, working with good athletes, working with bad athletes. That took me 10 years before I felt comfortable putting myself out there in form of a product. And now that I have something that I know that if anybody that does it goes through, understands the principles that we've laid out for them, and does the work, they are going to get better 100% of the time. And I believe that. So that gives me now, in terms of content, I will do whatever it takes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to cheat. But I will play the freaking game of content. And I am approaching that because it is a lever that I can crank on. And I didn't even it's like, all right, 712,000 followers now. What does that mean? Well, that means every time I post something, I could take a picture of us right now in here. Is it going to go viral? No, but thousands of people are going to see anything I do.
Yeah.
And then over time, I can just get it better. Right now, we're doing these podcasts because I want people to know who we are. I want to show them a different side of us. We have our skits. We have all the different styles of content we do. We do, simple things. If you have no left hand, do this. If you can't finish, do this. If you have no step back, we do all those things because we're presenting a problem for a 15-year-old kid that knows nothing, and we're trying to get him. They're looking for answers to problems they have. So what are problems that 15-year-old kids that play basketball have? They have a weak left hand. They have heavy feet. They can't jump high. They can't dunk. They have no behind back dribble. They can't put the ball through their legs. So we call it low IQ content. I'm willing to go low IQ content because I know what I'm going to filter these kids to at the end of the day will help them if they do it.
Solving problems
that's it. Yeah. Problem, answer. We go agitate, answer.
Yeah. And
it's also not just the if we post something right now, the reach that we get, it's not just that. It's the fact that for this brand, for the last, how long? 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, posting the same amount of the same thing, the same concepts, the same principles over and over and over again, associating it with good drill. It's like, that's why it's good drill. It's not good drill because, it wasn't good drill. Like at first it was like, that's a cool thing that Alex said, that's good, but it wasn't good drill. Like now it's good drill, and every day it becomes more and more of a potent, it's a brand. It's a potent thing. It's like that sign, like it means something. Like there's equity in that. That means something.
But
good drill.
About, I put myself back to when I started doing that and just writing good drill as a caption. Like good drill, good drill, good drill, good drill. 3 years later, that word has been put in content, made into
Those
an
were the seeds.
app.
Those were
You're
seeds.
Wearing a t-shirt. I got a good drill shirt underneath there, but
I thought you were going to show your underwear.
Yeah, that's not good drill underwear. It's bad underwear, smelly. But I there's just go, win. Good.
How has your thoughts about training evolved over the past year or two?
The longer I go, the less I care. The less I care about the training. The more I do this, I care way less. It goes back to my point before about I'm focused on helping the person in front of me get to where they want to go. And how we do that isn't important. Whether we do that is important. Are we helping people to the best of our ability get to where they want to go? And views on training, are there players in the NBA because they followed a certain training program? Is it the certain drills they did? Is it the weightlifting routine they did? Is that what got them to the next level?
Well, you like the idea of more small-sided games, right?
It's closer to the thing they want to get better at.
Right.
But I am not stupid to think I'm not going to think that every player out there has access to teammates, people to play with, other things. Like there's plenty of good stuff that can be done by yourself, but really hammering the principles of development home is what's going to get them there.
Hey, you know what I think you guys should do, even though I know you have a lot on your plate? Remake the Steve Nash 20-minute workout, but in a good drill kind of way.
What was in his 20-minute workout?
Well, he was just going through a lot of different kinds of shots, but if you do that in an innovative way where I think it actually could even work for adults, even though I know that's not your target demographic, but just having adults work out in a way that's fun for them, basketball wise, or even for a kid in season, 20 minutes to 30 minutes is great as well.
Yeah. We always have this rep conversation. Drew Hanlon, who we just had on, just put out there.
No,
we're not going. No. This is good. You're gonna like this. This is good. You're gonna like this. But Drew Hanlon, with his book that's coming out, he's giving people like a thing to put on their door, and it's a check-in every day. Like we wanted people checking into our Discord. He has a thing that he's actually mailing people, and on there it's like 250 reps, finishing reps with your left hand, 250 finishing reps with your right hand, 200 spot shooting, 200 dribble, this, that, and it's check. And the kids have a calendar on the thing where they check it off. Like, I'd love that. Like, if that's going to get people going and create accountability for them, that is an awesome thing. Is that going to get somebody to the NBA? I don't know. Like, is what we're going to do get them the NBA? No, that's what I'm saying. What we do is not that important in terms of the drills, but like having something like that where kids can put it on their door, check in every day, and be accountable to something and start putting work in is the right direction for where most people are at. Like, what is the simplest first step for an athlete to make? They stink at basketball. They want to play in college. Go get 250 reps with your left. It's a lot better than what they're currently doing. Now, we can argue over the what. We can argue over how we would approach that. But at the end of the day, if they're really hungry to win, they're going to be looking for the things to get them and propel them to where they want to go. So anything to get them moving, create accountability, understand work, that's a great first step. Go do all that stuff.
You know, I was thinking about, not to get back to the reps thing too much, but I was thinking about it from this point of view because I think your guys' demographic is high school basketball players for the most part. And think about it from this standpoint. If you want to be the greatest player ever, you probably have to get a certain volume of reps over the course of time to separate yourself from the other world's very good to great players.
Yeah. I mean, Kobe has his story, right? When he's a young player, all these other guys had wives, this, that. He had none of that. He was able to put 100% focus into the thing he wanted to get better at.
Yeah.
That was it. Us with content. Is it 100% of our focus? Maybe not 100%, but it's like, think about the hours that me and him have put into
volume,
the conversations, the check, what do you think about this? The trying, the experimenting, the things that don't do well. The last couple of weeks, I've done no new content. I'm reposting stuff. I'm getting our podcast clips, and it's not doing well, and I love it. It's like, I'm okay. I had a post this morning with the garbage thing that he was talking about. It's not going to do well. I knew it wasn't going to do well, but it's like, sometimes I'm going to put stuff out there. Not all of it, and I'm going to get back to crushing, and I'm going to get back to millions of views. I'm going to get back to the likes because I know it's indicative of the goal, right, that I'm trying to get after. More views, more people, more clicks on the thing.
So is
more
it better
sales.
to put a post out there that you know might not do as well just because of the consistency aspect of things?
No, it doesn't matter.
Well, you posted it, right?
Yeah, I had it and I wanted to post it. We had Jake Torah on and I wanted to do something with Jake Torah. I wasn't happy with the edits, but I want to show Jake Torah and the conversation. I thought it was good. He's talking about, people focusing on things that aren't truly that important. And the message of that video was just go focus on things that are important and stop worrying about all this nonsense. So it's like a good idea. Now, could that have been a really good post and got a lot of views and a lot of likes if it was done differently?
You could also redo it.
We could always redo it. We could get Jake back on and have another conversation. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're playing a long game, and we're just constantly trying to improve on what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
I've gotten to a point though where it's like I can take 2 weeks and just put some stuff out just to do it. I'm not attached to it. I'm not trying. Like, it's not our focus right now. We have so many things that we're working on with the business, with the brand, to try to make it better, to free up mine and Ross's time. So much of our time right now is on content. We are other than the podcast clips, me and Ross are editing all of the videos ourselves. We're coming up with the ideas ourselves. We got Gabe here right now. He's got a giant job for 2025. And we're talking about what we're going to do to automate all of our content. And that's going to free mine and Ross's time up to focus on things.
Gabe needs a mic, man.
Yeah.
There's something with the intuition and a feeling of like a lot of people would talk about motivation and they'll say, oh, you're not motivated. They'll just talk about motivation in a positive or negative way. Should you be motivated? Should you not? Something that I realize is that like sometimes if you're not as motivated to do something, like maybe it's a signal that there's something else to look at. Like everybody wants to look at something like it's good or bad, but it's like for me personally, my motivation to do content and do it well, like just as an example, a year ago, January 2024 was so much higher. Like my motivation to make content that all right, let me stay between 5 to 10 million accounts reach every 30 days. And my motivation to have viral clips was way higher than it was right now. Is that a bad thing?
No, that's your evolution.
But a lot of people would say like, oh, why am I not motivated? Why am I? My motivation is because I know that doing that is not going to get me to my goal. So there's a reason why. But here's the kicker though. There's a kicker is that people talk about intuition and feeling all the time, but then they don't execute on it. They start dwelling on an intuition or a feeling or whatever. There's a reason you have it, and to look, all right, why am I not? Well, maybe it's because there's something, I don't believe that it's the answer to the goal. And what is then? Okay, building up systems to scale us. Am I motivated to do that? 1,000%. Because I believe that's the answer to get there. If I genuinely believe it'll get me to my goal, if I genuinely believe getting 10 million accounts reach a month and doing it myself would get us to where we want to go, I would do it. I would 100%. I'd be motivated. It's my freaking goal. Like of course I'd be motivated. Like I'm driven, but like that's not going to get me there. Yeah. Me doing it is not going to get me there. Me spending 8 hours a day every single day is, although I can do it, it's not going to get me there.
Yeah, we did it. It's like
that's what I'm saying. Think about all the goals that we've already reached.
That's what. So the reason I'm okay right now, it's because one, we're trying to automate it, get people to help us with it. But I did it. I have 712,000 followers on Instagram, and I don't even like it. Like I don't like it. I don't care about it. It's a number. I don't even attach that number to people on the other side. It's a metric for the business. But it's like I did it. I freaking grinded. Me and him showed up every freaking day working on things. Like I said, failing, trying things, and it's like I did it. We've got one of the largest followings in the world. I'm over it. I could walk away from it tomorrow. But what am I trying to do? It goes back to the freedom. So now, what's going to get me to freedom? Right now, a lot of my free time, I don't have any free time. It's on content. So what's the next step to get more freedom?
The least risky step.
And you'll reach that goal as well.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. And then there'll be maybe a new goal.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Like think about your goal that you had maybe 10 years ago on the day-to-day. Like you reached that, you'll continue to reach all your goals.
Yeah. Or you'll find new goals. And there's a,
or you could pivot,
Sometimes you have an idea of something you want and you get towards something that you get towards it and you realize you don't want it anymore.
Like what you were saying about how content was such a big goal for you back then. If that wasn't the case, then that means there's no evolution.
Well, it still is the goal.
You should always look back the year before and be like, that doesn't even look that big to me anymore. Because you accomplished a lot of the things.
Well, it's not even, I didn't accomplish, we didn't do what we wanted to do this year. We didn't do it. We did well. We built, we grew a lot, but we didn't do what we wanted to do.
In terms of the metrics?
In terms of, in terms of our goals, in terms of money, in terms of, we didn't get to
we didn't hit the number we wanted to hit.
We didn't hit it, and we did, and we think that one of the biggest risk factors for us is the fact that all of our time is spent on something where now, with the people we have around us, can take over, and it could not only as far as like a delegation thing, but something where getting more people involved with it, it has more potential. It has a bigger potential. So it's not that I don't care about the accounts reached anymore. I just don't care about me having my daily process doing the work every single day, even though it's been the thing for so long.
But your daily process led you to this, right? To that realization.
Yeah. No. Everything has its steps.
Yes.
When I first started doing content, I honestly, I didn't have a goal. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew that content was good. That was my gut. And I went all in on it. If I knew it was going to do something. I didn't know where it was going to go. I knew it was going to do something. Things start forming. All right, we keep going. And now it's time to change things. And you just follow that gut. You question the gut. You question why certain things are happening. But I do think there's a lot of times where people will have a certain feeling and they'll be like, oh, like, why do I've got to grind through, just go. I could grind through so easily and freaking crush content. But that's not the thing that I need to grind through and crush. It's like taking a step back, going on a hunting trip in the micro. In the micro, you need time to allow ideas to come through. An elevated perspective.
Yeah.
That you need the time to allow for those things so that you can change, play with different ideas, and then start creating new concepts, whatever, and then you execute.
we're going to have a down month this year in terms of the business, but it's like, we know it and it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. I don't like having down months, but it's like, we need to have a down month to recalibrate, to focus, to have some time.
A step back for 2 steps forward.
Hopefully a million steps forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the steps forward.
Hopefully only half a step back.
Yeah. But it's like, that's it. Me and him could continue to do content, continue to do what we do, but it's like, where does that go? You have no idea where it goes. It could lead somewhere. Some other opportunity could come up, but it's really, where are we trying to go? What do we want? And what's going to get there? And what got you somewhere might not take you all the way. Like, what got you here won't take you there.
What got you from point A to point B might not take you from point B to point C.
It never does, right? Because we've surpassed what we wanted to do. We got to a point. We built this brand. We got to this level now. And it's now take a little step back in January, reevaluate, talk to all the people, look at all the pieces we have involved, what went good last year, what went bad last year, what did we accomplish? Where are we headed? And is everybody still on the same mission that they need to be on?
Yeah, what Ross is speaking to is basically short-sightedness, and that's not what you want.
Well, it's
myopia.
Myopia.
You like that word?
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
Short-sightedness, basically. Fact check that for me, Gabe. Is that off?
Sounds like a more generic term for eye problems. Oh, you're right.
That kid is good.
Myopia, a medical term for nearsightedness. Good vocab.
That kid is good, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand how, when it comes with focus, a lot of people don't understand when to use logical frameworks and when to use intuitive frameworks. And the problem with intuition a lot of times is that somebody that's only, and I'm realizing this, somebody that's only goes on intuition, it doesn't mean they're inherently dumber, meaning it doesn't mean that they don't make decisions that get them to their goal. That's how you have to define dumb or not dumb, right? It doesn't mean that. It just means that they don't use a logical way of communicating to get there. And the problem is a lot of people that are very intuitive, like, think about it. They would be very easily persuaded by somebody that just uses logic for everything. But if you just use logic for everything, like, you don't just use logic. The reason why I started posting at all wasn't based in logic. I had no idea what the hell was going to happen. I had a feeling based on all of the information internally that I have, and I just freaking went. And then the second thing you do, then you check it. You check it with logic. I have this feeling right now that I don't need to go crazy on social media. It starts there. And then it's, all right, what's the logic behind it? Does that make sense? Am I just being like, should I be doing this anyway? Should I grind through? And then you make a logical decision.
Yeah, you grew things big enough where you know that all your attention should be somewhere else at this point.
But it's not, yes.
Or some of your attention.
Yes. And it's not like a set path that's based in just start step
so you're
one,
saying you need both.
step two. It's
intuition and logic.
Yeah, but it's not a set path. And I think the problem is, even with basketball training, people think that there's like a set path. Like, we had this idea that we
Too many moving pieces for that, right?
Yeah. We had this idea that, and we went for it. We thought, we had a good feeling about YouTube, about what we were going to do with YouTube. And it's like, it makes sense to YouTube. Why? Because it's like the path. It's like you go long form, short form. And it's like the feeling is like, we maybe take a step back. And then it's like, all right, let's see where other pieces can play in. What's the logic behind that feeling? What's the logic? And I do think it's both. But people don't actually do it. It's those obvious things that people don't actually do. People get caught up in the minutia of what everybody else thinks, what people think about them, what's the correct way to do something, what's the right form to shoot with. People get caught up with all that stuff. But instead of letting internal processes happen based on a goal that you have, and then you double check them, because some people are just freaking lazy and they have to just keep going. And your intuition about, I don't want to put in this, it's because you're fucking like, check that. Like, is it right?
It's not only the short-sightedness. It's like, I'm just going to keep doing it this way because it's easy, because I know how to do that.
It could be.
Yeah.
You know?
Me and Ross could put all of our focus into our YouTube right now, and 100% fact, we would destroy it and build a huge base and get millions and millions of views on long-form content.
Right.
Too hard to do with our current day-to-day roles with the short-form content. Can't do it. So, logical step. We tried YouTube. We got into it, took a course, paid this guy, learned how to do YouTube. Didn't really take much from the course, but it got us to do YouTube. Posted 2 a week for almost a year. Got here. I still want to do YouTube in the future. I mean, this podcast is going on. Yeah, we got a plaque. That's awesome, right? But is that still in line? Is still going down that road, filming these short form stuff, filming the long form stuff, the right thing to do right now? And we talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's not, because it's not, we need to free up our time.
And like something like this is different than YouTube, because when you bring it back to logic and the intuition, you're looking at, how does it get me to my goal? What is the risk of doing it? What's the reward for doing it? The highest reward potential. What's the risk of doing it in terms of time, energy, effort, resources?
Yeah.
And you look at it with that lens, and it's like doing this right now. We just came here, sit down. Yeah. Something that we also want to do goes back to our freedom, goes back to something that it could have a long tail. Something huge happens that we don't know. Just like I don't know where content will go. We don't know where this will go. You have no idea how big this can get. And we get to talk to you. We get to talk to other people coming through, building relationships. We both think it's massive. Like that's a massive thing to do. Like having Drew Hanlon on, having by any means Coleman on, like that's massive.
Mr. Do It Moving.
And it's a platform. Yep. It's a platform, and it's something that people can go, people that love us can go watch it. And also, what else are we getting that de-risks the whole thing is the fact that we get content from it. So now we're de-risk. It's a very de-risked situation.
For me and Ross, we have to come here, bring you in. What does that do? Me and Ross don't have to think about what we're going to talk about today. We had no idea. I said it's 2025. Let's talk about 2024 and 2025. And now we've been talking for an hour. We didn't have to think about it. We got you in here. We got this studio. We got Gabe. Everything after that, me and Ross have to come in here, sit down, have cool conversations, talk to cool things. Right now, we're just spitballing off stuff that's off the top of our head, and it feels good. So we're going to do it.
What do you think about this? Because I just had this thought that at first you put your time into it, you make money from it from that time, and then that thing could work on its own.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So like you guys worked on YouTube, right? So you guys worked on YouTube for a long time, right? You make money from that. You could step away from it, but put money into it and still allow it to work for you. And then you use your time for something else, and then everything keeps going.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
In theory, that's like logical theory. But why does that not? So from YouTube, how much we make? Like what, a couple grand a month?
Not even 800 last month.
Between people with the app and everything, it's like, okay, why don't we just put $1,500 a month towards it? It's because we don't know what's going to happen every single month. It also takes Gabe's time. We're also using Gabe. We have VA. Like, there's a feeling of like, no, that doesn't just add up the way that math. It doesn't math like that. And because there's all these other things that are happening. If you really go into it, there's all these other things happening. It's a whole other situation than just that, like the 2000, trying to do the math on that.
But basically, yeah. So yeah,
it's also our bandwidth of like even the thumbnails, even the conversations with Gabe. Like, how do we want that momentum to be? Right? It's all momentum. Like, it's all routine. It's all momentum. It's like, what do we want the momentum to be? Do we want to be, all right, short form, building this freaking Death Star of a short form system, and then also having to talk about YouTube? All right, pivot, start talking about this. Like, that doesn't. I don't know. We don't need to do that. Like that's making the situation more risky. We don't need to. That's the thought. That's the feeling.
You don't need to expand on that.
Expand on it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You don't need to.
No.
You don't need to do anything, really. So.
No, it just doesn't get us. It's not. It's
what's it?
That YouTube. Doing that, thinking like trying to keep it going right now.
Well, you maybe put more attention in the other things you're working on now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the resources that we put, the time and resources.
Is that ideal, basically, what I'm saying, though?
Is what ideal.
Okay, you worked on YouTube for a year, right?
Yeah.
Now maybe find a way where the money from YouTube allows you to work on YouTube on its own and create more money while you're not earn more money while you're not even working on it with your time.
There's no way for me and Ross not to have a huge impact on what happens on YouTube. If
you're not putting your time into
it, nothing happens by mistake. Nothing happens by chance. Do lucky things happen? Does chance happen? Yes. Yeah. But the only way I'd feel confident going into YouTube is if me and Ross went hard as hell with YouTube.
And it's not like it's him. It's other people, it's other conversations. It's not going to get us to our goal, even if it does do whatever. There's certain things that are very low risk in terms of time, money, energy, effort, resources that it's like, all right, let's just do it because, hey, like good things can happen from it. Good things are currently happening from it. And there's nothing that we have to do from it. But like that is very different.
So building an email list, that's another YouTube. It's another stream to connect with people, right? Yeah. What does it take for me and Ross to collect emails right now? We have 3 free products, a free dunk product, a free handle product, and a free shooting product. We're already posting. We're already doing this. We don't know how to sell through email. We have a copywriter on staff that writes emails 5 days a week, and we have that, but we haven't really dialed in how to do it. But in terms of cost and energy spent from me and Ross, all we have to do is a post a day or a story a day collecting emails, and we can build our email list. We're at 70,000 now. We get that email list to 300,000, right?
Yeah.
We have 300,000 people on the email list. There's no downside to that whatsoever, because it took relatively little effort. We have the following on social media, get those people off social media into our email list, nurture them over time, which our copywriter does, talk to them, whatever. And then it's like, okay, when the time comes, we have this massive email list. Whereas YouTube, there's editing, there's thumbnails, there's this, there's that, there's ideas.
Conversation. It's a totally different line.
Filming, edit, like it's a whole different thing. Where email list, we could just collect those emails and, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, and we have hundreds of thousands of emails. We go find the best email guy in the world, pay him to tell us how to make money with emails, whatever that is. But we don't need to worry about that step yet, right? Yeah. We don't need, because we can get lost in the weeds, and now it's like we're trying to work on retention of the subscription. We're trying to work on this. We're trying to work on this, and it's just too many things. Whereas let's just collect the emails. We have a copywriter that's sending some stuff to them, and over time, if we think it's the next logical step, the next thing that's going to get us to where we want to go, then we invest in it.
And everything you do, there's like a main thing. There's a clear main thing. Like what's the main thing? What's the main thing that you're doing? What's the main path
that you're
what's the main path you're taking to get to the goals that we have? And it's like there's a line. If there's an imaginary line of like this is how it starts, this is everything that's happening. Now, is something that you're doing can it easily there's something that Alex Hormozy said, which I really like, is like sawdust. An idea of sawdust is like there's this whole how plywood came about was that people that made wood and like cut down trees and made the wood from the trees realized like, hey, we can take the sawdust from the trees that we're cutting and put them together, really compress them, and you make plywood. Like they have sawdust from what they're doing. It's like that is a very efficient thing to do because you already have it. It's already there. Like we already have the following. We already have all this. How much effort does it take to collect the sawdust to make it? Not that much effort, and the upside from it is so high. Very similar to emails. It's like it takes like no effort, virtually no effort to make one post a day or one post every other day about an email. But YouTube, that's a whole other line.
Yeah.
You're creating a whole other line. Now it's like we have to like that's just a different thing. Why don't we start a t-shirt company and why don't we start a freaking restaurant next door? Like we're like that's a whole different line. Whole different line.
You mentioned the word effort, and once you master something, it takes less and less effort over the course of time, right? Like you could put out a lot more good short form content now than you could a year ago.
Exactly. When you're doing something that's the main thing and you understand what the main thing is, what you are doing when you're trying to make it better is you're solving the problems within that main thing. And when you try to do something else that's not the main thing, you think that every time we do it, we think that it's going to be easy and quick and effortless, but it always becomes new problems always happen when we think like, oh, we could do so well if we started doing this. But it's like we have problems in front of us that aren't always fun to look at. But looking at campaign refinement, oh, this is going to be easy. Everybody's going to open our emails now when we do this. Like this is going to be easy. This thing that we're going to do is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. Every time we do that, it all has a list of problems, and it's way more fun to not understand what the problems are there than to see what the problems we currently have here and work on them and make it more efficient. We get better. Yeah. We get better at it with that
And
stream.
Once you make it more efficient, you can move on to other things.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, when it feels right. When it feels right.
That was kind of my point, even though I
don't even know if it feels right. When it is right.
There's going to be a lot of
I have ideas every day, and in that day, in that moment, I'm talking to Ross, I'm talking to whoever it is, and it feels right. This is the year we build a gym. It feels right. It makes sense. I wake up the next day, I don't want to build a gym.
Yeah, when it's like actually when it is
you
right.
got to put some time into it too, into your thoughts.
Well, no, it's not feeling right. It's letting things sit, marinate, really looking at things, taking those freaking drives, having the conversations, letting it play out, and then.
But you know not to act on something new, and
but it is hard because we could do all of it. We could. We could do it. Like, there's no bad ideas. We have no shortage of ideas. T-shirt company. Well, why don't we start selling good drill shirts? People would buy good drill shirts, good basketballs, good this. Who's going to manufacture it? Where are the T-shirts? Who's going to mail out the T-shirts?
Yeah.
How are they going to buy it?
How are they going to buy it? What are the profit margins on that? Well, like, how many T-shirts do we need to sell to actually make money where it's worth it? Or putting our focus into something else?
Or even breaking even could help build with brand building, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know what brand building is.
Brand
not the
awareness.
Goal. It's not even the goal.
Yeah.
It's not the goal right now. I would put money that at some point it'll be the goal of like, let's go deliberately try to build this brand and not just like, because we didn't have this thought of building brand. It's not the thought. We were trying to get as many views as possible. And I think we happened to build
Isn't
a
that
brand.
one the same?
No. Brand is not a measure of
Views?
volume. It's a measure of the association of how people. Good drill. It's something. Nike is something. It's something tangible that you get a feeling. Like what do you think of when you think of good drill? First thought that comes in your head. What is your first thought?
Your
Good
guys'
drill.
content, really.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
And
happens.
our content is distinct from a lot of other people's content. Like, you see our videos and it's different than everything else out there.
Do you see imitations?
Every day.
But that's not good drill. Like, we're good drill. Good drill. I think me personally, when I think good drill, I think the shirts, I think black, I think cross starts, I think our app. Like, there's certain things that you think of, and that's the brand. But that just got built automatically because of the amount of views we got and because of the fact that we're saying the same thing over and over again, right? But there will be a time where that's the focus, but that's not the main goal. It's just not the main. It's not the main goal. It would be nice if it just it keeps happening. It's not the main goal. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah. I don't care about brand. It's not the focus.
We don't want to, and at the same time, though, if there was something that we thought that would destroy the brand, we don't want to do that either. Like, that would be like, don't do that. That could hurt. Like cursing in content or whatever. It's like, stuff like that. Like, might as well not do things that put the brand at risk. But the goal of actually saying, okay, this is how we're going to get our brand to be this big. I bet you there will be a time for it, but it's just definitely not it right now.
Well, another good episode of the Good Drill podcast, the first of the year.
Good drill.
Look at the mugs. Movement over moves.
I bet you people would buy these mugs. I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger. No?
I love it. My wife did it. It's perfect.
No, see? You can't have that. I think a little bigger, but I think they're nice. Maybe a little imprint on the inside, Good Drill imprint.
What if it was like a hoop and it was like a net?
Subscribe to this channel if you're watching it. Like and
Orange
share.
up here and then net over this.
Subscribe.
Plain. That's what we
Right
do.
now.
Plain.
Subscribe to the pod. Thanks to Gabe. Ross is in the building. Bobby is in the building. And we are out. Another pod. Peace.
Bye.